Okay, say what you said about the intelligence of the people in this town.
The people in this town pretty much are dumber than shit. You know? That's why I don't have any friends.
Oh, but we can't talk about the past.
If I want to go compromise who I am as a person and stoop down to their level and become an alcoholic and go screw a bunch of ugly, toothless old men.
How do you think I feel? Do you understand how I feel now?
Well, yeah.
Is that, you know, when I go to Springfield, my intelligence pays off. When I come here, the nurses stay away from me. And Bonnie, I asked her one time, I said, you work there, do the nurses hate me or something? And she said, no, they actually really like you. It's just, they don't know how to talk to you. I said, well, why can't they just talk to me? And she just kind of huffed over the phone, and she said, I don't know. Because they're very cliquish here. You know what I'm saying? They're very, the junior high school was the best 3 years of my life. Haven't we heard that? I remember when Kurt Camp used to touch me. Do you remember that? Hey, Lita.
I know.
You say that. Don't listen to me. Now you say it.
I heard it.
Who said it? It's pretty serious stuff.
Some nurse at that
Meadow Manor. She doesn't work there anymore. Your move.
Asher, all I can do, and you're going to laugh at me and say I'm an ignorant fool and I'm a whore and I'm all this stuff and call me a bunch of negative stuff, but I'm sorry. I don't have an answer for you.
Well, at least you're being honest about that. Why would I insult you?
The only thing I can do as a mother who believes in God is pray.
Well, at least that's better than doing nothing, huh?
And somehow God can put it together where you meet somebody who is a nice person and who is intelligent and
or normal.
Yeah. And somebody who's fun to be with.
You remember that the average IQ, did you know that the average IQ in Christian County is 78?
That's very sad.
The average nationally is 90. Yeah. Nationally it's about 92 on average.
Yeah.
Mine's 86. But yet these people, I don't even know what to say anymore. I think it's because I'm just too advanced for these people. I think that's really the bottom line of it. That's why the relationships don't work. That's why they can't work. Because every time I've been in a relationship with a woman or tried to, they were married. Not going to say who. You know what I'm saying, right? And all they try to do is control me, and all they wanted, to the point where they even cut contact with me because I wasn't giving them more money than their husband was.
This might sound like a stupid idea, but one you haven't tried. I wonder if you could meet somebody at the library.
And how many years did we go there? 8.
Yeah.
Next one.
No. How many times have you gone there by yourself and used the computers or?
I already have a computer and I don't have the money to use it. There are a lot of times I've gone there by myself and it's very quiet, and a lot of the people there are rather odd. I remember there was that one guy masturbating himself while he was watching gay porn on the computer.
So much
Next one.
Idea.
Do you remember how Todd used to go there and he thought that Yahoo was spying on him and Jesus Christ was born on September 11th?
I know.
Right, try. Next one.
Shit, I don't know. All I can tell you is that I'll pray and I'll give the problem to God because I don't know.
Well, shit, at least you owe up to the fact you don't know.
I don't know a girl to introduce you to or anything, Yeah,
now talk about the reaction of that Reenies chick. I did that on purpose to show you.
Well, yeah, you told her she was cute or whatever, and she walked to her car. But I would walk to my car, and I'd walk...
No, but you noticed that she was really talkative at first, and then when I said that to her, she got real nervous?
Well, yeah, because she's probably 16 years old, and she don't know how to react to that yet.
But what about women who are 25 years old, and they can't react to that?
Well, they should.
What about that nurse practitioner that was at Domino's that ran out of the Domino's crying? She was 40 years old. Age doesn't matter. I've seen women of all ages, become very afraid if you compliment them in any way whatsoever.
And they don't have to have some big deep thing. They could smile and say, "I know," you know, or they could say, "Well, you are too," or they could say,
Lita, that's you.
or they could
No,
say,
lower yourself.
You need glasses, dude."
Listen, lower yourself. Can you please lower yourself for a minute here?
Yeah.
Stoop to their level for a minute, and try to think how they do. Okay, now why are you crying about it?
Because you're a guy. You made me uncomfortable. Because you have a weenie and I don't.
Yeah, and then you have to go on some big rant for 10 minutes on how daddy touched you or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever.
Alright. And why do so many women here have all this emotional baggage and like they've been abused and shit? We could talk about that for a whole hour about that. How many women have I met? I mean, I remember when I started hanging out with Bonnie, I was thinking to myself, how many women now have I met that have said that they've been abused? I'll post a link in the description for the other video where we talked about that. We just got done making that video, didn't we? You know, and sorry, you got bad memory, you have Parkinson's. The bottom line is that, you know, I'll go through the fucking list. Heather was raped, my half-sister. Amy was raped, my half-sister. Bonnie was raped by her boyfriend, and she was tied up in a cornfield with chains. Cindy Pierce was gang raped by 6 men who worked at the same plant she worked at. You have been raped. I have been sexually assaulted by my half-sister Amy when I was 13 years old. Go figure. You know, the rapist rapes, and then the rape victim rapes as well. Makes sense, huh? How it just continues on because they think that's how adults are supposed to behave. Hey, that's what Lady Gaga said, right? You know,
Yeah,
that's how she thought. There are other people I've met too. There was this one chick who was taking my blood when I was at the emergency room, and I was on the TV. They were talking about that there were all these sexual assaults in the U.S. Army in the last 10 years, and I told her about that, and she just got this weird look on her face, and she said that she was in the reserves and she was raped, and they wouldn't investigate it because it was her CO that did it. And that's usually, those are the guys who do these assaults. Because according to military law, it has to be the commanding officer that oversees the investigation. Well, according to military law, if he's the one who did the rape, how is he going to investigate himself? Of course he's going to lie about it.
Yeah.
You do know that 90% of these sexual assaults are from the CO, right?
Yeah, and if she went above him,
She can't because she's a woman. Once again, it's a very male environment. And I think that's one of the biggest problems, too, also in Taylorville, is that it's this very, you know, jock straps, beer, football, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Like, Taylorville is really male. And it's like, there's nothing soft about it. There's no compassion. It's very anti-woman here. Do you remember about how Alex is like, you know, that if you're attracted to a woman, you should just rape her and shit. Like that's the mentality of these men. And then the men wonder why the women don't want to be around them. Maybe it's because they're scared to death of seeing a man because of that. But that's how these kids are fucking raised by their fathers. They're raised like, oh, well, you know, just if you want something, you take it, you know, and that's their kind of mentality. And then these are the kind of people that join the military when they're 18 years old, Mom. It's these small town kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the seed of the father. And that's exactly how it is. It's hatred passed on, and passed on. It's a world of violent rage, but it's one that I can recognize. Never seen the color of my father's eyes. You know? That's from Rage Against the Machine. Isn't that what we're talking about, basically?
Yeah.
We're talking about family dysfunction. We're talking about 55% of women in this country have been divorced at least twice, which is an overwhelming number. It's higher than any other country in the world. We have more people now than ever. We got 90% of millennials say that they would rather watch porn than have sex with a real person. We're talking about where 70% of dates occur on a fucking website where you pay them $100 a month. You know, people don't meet anymore. People, like what you were saying earlier. And people in Taylorville, like I said, the only way to get her married is to get her liquored up, fill up her pussy, get her pregnant, 6 months later you marry her, and then you're stuck with her for the rest of your life. And she thinks that's what love is. Because she was a virgin, and a lot of women, where they lose their virginity, they're like, goo goo gaga da da mama, and they kind of revert back to being a child, because I've seen it. It's pretty weird. You got this grown woman who makes more money than I do, and then she's reverting back to being a fucking 12-year-old. You don't think that's pretty pathetic?
Yeah.
That women have been abused so much that they revert back to being a child when they get touched again? That's pretty fucking disturbing. You nod your head slightly.
Yeah. And anyway, women shouldn't be dependent on men.
No, they shouldn't. And
No.
men shouldn't abuse women either.
But,
You gotta speak faster, dude.
okay, I'm trying to. Women shouldn't be where they have to have the guy's paycheck to live.